What's going on, folks? It is April 4th, which means that it is opening day of turkey season in North Texas. So in the South Zone, the season started a couple weeks ago, but we open a little bit later up here in North Texas. So I am excited to get out and do a little turkey hunting. So that's my plan. And really my goal for tonight, it's kind of late in the day. The sun's probably setting in just a couple of minutes. So my goal is just to see if I can hear one tonight, figure out generally where a bird may be so I can get on it and hopefully get real close in the morning to set up. And then after I do that, there's a feeder down here and I may sit up there with either my handgun or a bow and see if I can get a shot at a hog. They may come in, they may not. It's Texas. There's hogs kind of anywhere and everywhere, but I have no idea when they're coming in. So before I do that, I'm just gonna set up a quick camp here so I don't have to do that in the dark or if it starts raining again. That way I'll have camp already set up. So I'm gonna get to it. Alright, so for my camp, this is basically just my budget backpacking setup. So this is my Magellan Kings Peak 2. I did a video on this tent several years ago. This is a slightly newer model, but same basic idea. It still works great. I use that with the MSR Groundhog spikes instead of the aluminum wire ones. And then here, I've got my Climate Static V Recon. Really compact, small sleeping mat, still very comfortable. And then this is my Kelty Cosmic 20 bag. So I suspect it probably will get down to about 40 tonight, so I should be very comfortable in here. Versus 40 degrees in a 40 degree bag, which often isn't too comfortable. So that's my basic camp setup, but right now I'm gonna throw some camo on, see if I can walk down to the creek down here, and hopefully hear a bird or two. Here we go. Just headed downhill towards the creek because I think that's where they're gonna be, somewhere along the creek. So we'll just sit down there, hopefully hear something. Well, I've got good news. Oh, don't want to step in that cactus. I've got good news and I've got bad news. So, good news is I was able to find turkeys. I heard at least one gobbler up there. So, glad there's something here. Bad news is it's about as far as it possibly could be from my camp. And it's right on the property line. Or there's a good chance that it's just over on the neighbor's side of the property. So, and that's no-go. I do not have permission to hunt over there. So, that's not good. So another bit of information that I'm not sure if it's good or bad. I did hear hens on this side of the property line. They're on this property. So, hopefully that means the gobbler will want to join the hens and head this way. But what's bad about that is they're between me and him. So, it'd be really hard to sneak up on him without spooking those hens. But at least I have a general plan of where to go in the morning. I know what direction to head and what side of the creek, which is important because this creek is really full and not easy to cross. So, got some intel. I'm gonna go ahead and hike back to camp right now. All right, good morning, folks. So, it's about 6:15. Got up, had a little breakfast, Cliff Bar, venison jerky. Sunrise is probably about, I think it's supposed to be 7:40, 7:35, something like that. But it's really cloudy and hazy out here, so I think that means it'll be getting light a little bit later, so I've got a little bit of extra time. But my plan is to hike on down to where I heard those birds last night, probably about a
25 or 30-minute hike over there, and then 5 minutes of slipping in super quietly, just kind of go slow and easy. And then I imagine about that point I'll be starting to hear gobbles. So that's the plan for this morning. Hopefully I'll hear some birds, and hopefully we'll get to pull the trigger on that old Mossberg. Let's see. Well, shoot. There was a gobbler back up there, probably 150 yards. One back in there, probably 100 yards. There was a hen in a tree 80 yards away from me. And this was kind of the only open spot right around here, so it just seemed perfect. Like they could just kind of meet in the middle and pitch down right in front of me. Now that's the property line right up here, so I couldn't go much further. And they were responding like crazy. It seemed like it was going to go great, but then the ones here, when they pitched down, I think they flew over the other side of the creek and kept going because their calls were getting more and more distant and they weren't responding to me for the last little bit. And then these ones, I don't really know what happened. I don't know if they went with them and I just couldn't hear, but I'm pretty sure some went that way. So I'm going to pack it up and head over. Unfortunately, I can't cross right here. It's real deep and real wide, so I gotta go way back around. But that'll let me kind of get up on a hill, so if they're in the field out there, I may be able to see them. So, shoot, I thought it was gonna work out right here. Oh well, let's keep going. Even though it is kind of a gray, drizzly day, it's beautiful out here. Well, it seems I now have an entourage. All right, see you ladies. you got a poopy butt. It's a couple minutes after 5, and what I'm hoping is that what they did this morning, they're gonna do the exact same thing in reverse. So I was sitting over there in those trees, and I think some of those bare treetops are where they were roosted, and then they pitched onto the slope and kept coming up. So I'm gonna sit on the other side of the slope, somewhere in this mesquite flat, hope to catch them kind of filtering in. And I don't want to be right on the roost, so that's the plan. Taking one last stab at it, but here we go. Well, I had those 2 hens come in for a while. Got video and was able to actually handhold my camera and snap a few photos as well. So it was cool to see birds that close. Unfortunately, not gobblers, so not legal. But then just a minute ago, I had something slip behind me. And I saw a redhead for a second. I think it was a jake. Not entirely sure. Not gobbling or anything. I heard a little bit of clucking, very, very lightly. So at this point, I think the birds have kind of moved across this mesquite flat down into the ravine where they're going to roost. So I'm going to move in a little closer. Try not to screw up the roost, but I'm going to get in a little closer just for one last ditch effort in the last 30 minutes of light here. Well, dang. Fortunately, I did not see a tom to shoot at, but I still saw birds. It was a beautiful weekend out here. Awesome weather. A little gray and hazy and got a little sprinkles, but avoided the rain. Saw birds, learned a little bit, had fun. All in all, it's great just to be out here enjoying it. Hopefully I'll have more turkey hunting footage coming later on this season. This won't be the last time I get out. Till next time, stay safe, be free, and never stop seeking adventure.